Hi everyone, welcome back to Yoga Magnificat with Nathia, and today we're going to do another yoga burn vinyasa flow, which is going to focus a little bit on side planks. So if you did the beginners video this week, you might be feeling a little bit of soreness in your shoulders and in your obliques. If you're coming to yoga burn wanting to work a different body part, sorry, you're out of luck, but it just means that practice makes perfect. So hang on tight, do whatever modifications you need to, and we're going to get started in child's pose. But before we do that, make sure that you have a strap with you, something like a yoga strap or a long belt or even a tie. You might also want a block or something like a big dictionary if that works for you, and a yoga mat. All right, so now that we're set up, come and join me on the mat, and we're going to come into child's pose around the center. Bring your knees up wide and your big toes to touch. Sink your hips back. Walk your upper body forward and let your head come down. Make sure that you let your hips sink back as far as they go. Don't worry if they end up really high. Just do your best to let them relax down, and then set your head down onto the floor. Also, you can use a block underneath the forehead if you wish. Just settle into a comfortable position that works best for you. We'll begin with a deep breath in through the belly. Let it expand through the center of your ribs, all the way up to your neck and shoulders. And then exhale, let everything back out, slowly, mindfully. When you reach the bottom, invite your breath in again to inflate, expand. And as you exhale again, think about melting down, softening all body parts, letting your thoughts slowly become more unified with your breath. And then slowly begin to let all of your other thoughts become less focused, maybe letting them fade into the background, while beginning to become more mindful and aware of your body, any tension that you're holding around your neck and shoulders. Maybe you want to adjust your elbows out more, tipping the fingers towards each other and finding more slack between the shoulder and neck. Notice if you are holding on to tension in your neck, and make sure that you have your forehead resting on either the floor, a block, or somewhere that's solid. And then feel the rest of your spine relax, ending around the tailbone, letting your knees and your shins and the tops of your toes just rest easily on the mat. Let's take one more inhale to really inflate, expand. Exhale slowly, letting everything go. We'll plant the hands, come back to a tabletop position, walk the knees at about hip distance apart. Walk the hands slightly further up, about half a foot or so in front of you. Now we're going to swing the body forward so shoulders land on top of those wrists, and then lower your hips down. Look forward, push gently into your hands, and slide the shoulders away from your ears. Let the fronts of your hips and your pelvis just drop down. Nice front body opener. And exhale, push into your hands, look back at your belly button, and push your hips back into child's pose. For a brief moment, inhale. And exhale, come forward. As you inhale, drop those hips. Exhale, sink it back. Inhale, come forward. Dropping your hips, looking forward, opening up through the chest. Exhale, roll it back. Sink the hips down. Inhale, come through again, arching through the back, and then finally dropping the hips. Exhale, bring it back. This time we're going to step it up a notch. So when you come back up, tuck your toes, plant your hands, and bring your knees off the floor for downward facing dog. So push into those knees, lift the hips up high, and pedal out your feet. When you look back, see if you can bring your toes about 2 fist distance away from each other. So toes are not together, toes are a little bit further apart, maybe about hip distance. Now bring both heels down, press into your hands for a nice solid, static downward facing dog. All right, so the hands are planted, the heels are planting downward. Now we're going to slide the shoulders forward again, pike up, lifting up your heels, and come to plank, nice and strong. Now once you're in plank, press into your toes, just lift your hips a tiny bit and squeeze your abdominals up towards your spine. Drop your hips, look forward, float the tops of your thighs off the ground. As you exhale, look down towards your toes, push up, and bring your weight back towards your heels for downward facing dog. So we're going to do that a few more times. Come up high on your toes, slide shoulders forward, plank, drop the belly and hips, upward facing dog, exhale, back to downward facing dog. 2 more times, come up high, plank strong, lower strong, inhale, exhale, push it back up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale for plank, exhale, and then downward facing dog. Let's bend those knees, put them on the floor. Walk your hands in underneath your shoulders for tabletop position. We'll make our way to thread the needle. Let's take the right hand all the way up. Exhale, thread it underneath the left arm, land your shoulder and the top of your head. Push into your left hand and rotate the left shoulder back. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Feel that nice stretch through that attachment from your deltoid back towards the shoulder blade. Really nice stretch there. And as you breathe, you might feel it working through the center of your spine and around your back. And then slowly push into that hand near your face. Unwind back to tabletop. Let's take the left hand this time, pressing it up towards the sky. Exhale, thread it underneath the right arm, land your shoulder and your head. Press the hand down by your face and rotate the right shoulder back. Press gently into your left shoulder to the floor. Continue breathing and feel that breath working its way around the spine, around the shoulders, around the upper back, mid-back. One more cycle of breath here. And exhale, press your way back into tabletop. All right, we're going to start heating things up just a little bit more. Make sure your belly is engaged and pressing up towards your spine. Tuck your toes underneath and your hands solidly beneath your shoulders. Make sure that when you're looking, your arms are pressing down straight and not bent and slack, that you're pushing the mat away from you, so you're getting a little bit of a lift. Now plug your toes down onto the floor and then push into your palms and see if you can lift your knees off the ground, maybe an inch or 2 or more, and see if you can float. So floating tabletop, you can stay here. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, maybe choose to do the secondary part of it. Press your hips back towards your heels, kind of like a floating child's pose. Inhale, come forward, floating tabletop. Exhale, press it back. Inhale, float it forward. Exhale, float it back. Inhale, float it forward. Exhale, float it back. Here's our third choice. You can continue doing the first, second variations, or you can add this one in. Now, as we come forward, take your right knee, tap towards your right elbow, set it down. Press the hips back. Second side. Floating tabletop, left knee, left elbow, plant, hips to heels. And again, right side. Floating tabletop, tap, hips down. Floating tabletop, tap, left side, hips down. Keep alternating as you come forward. You're going to feel this maybe in your quads, maybe in your core. Let's do one more. And we'll put her down. Sink back into a nice relaxed child's pose, whichever variation, maybe with diamond elbows, maybe with wider knees. Catch your breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's come back into our tabletop pose. We're going to continue on with a little bit of booty work, a little bit of leg work here. So we're going to start with some hydrant circles. I'm going to start on my left side so you can see. So you're going to pick up your left knee and draw it towards your elbow. Circle it out and back and bring it in again. So just some gentle circles, and notice that my torso is not moving around a whole lot. I'm trying to keep my core really strong, and I'm not trying to open my body to the left like this. I'm trying to keep my belly button facing the floor. As best as you can, try to control your core as your legs move independently. Let's do one more. And we're going to hold the knee pointing down with the heel up. Now, cinch your core up towards your spine. Get really strong in your hands. You're going to pulse that heel up and draw it down. Knee towards knee, pulse it up. Knee towards knee, pulse it up. Good, nice and controlled. Yay, this is fun. Getting the body nice and warm. Keep breathing. All right, last one. Press your foot out straight. Now you're going to cross that leg over to the right and land the foot. Okay, so it's on the right side. Now, tighten up your core. Now you're going to think about drawing a diagonal line from where your right foot is planted up to the left side, like you're going to the corner of that wall. Bring it back and down. Draw a diagonal line up and to the left. And bring it back. Are you feeling your right booty? Because I am. Bring it back to the side, to the left. So you're really trying to kick up with the edge of your foot. Going to the side and up. Last one. Whew, and set that knee down. Give yourself a little wiggle, hip side to side maybe, or even child's pose, whatever makes you feel happy. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. All right, other side, fun time. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders, gird up your belly button. Now take your right knee, and you're going to bring some circles forward, out and back and in. So nice and big and controlled. Try not to let your belly button turn to the side. Just try to keep everything fairly stable. Again, legs moving independently from your torso if you can. And really squeeze as you bring that knee in, knee out and back and in. You're feeling that glute working. Just a few more like this. Nice and slow circles. The slower you go, the harder it is, if you notice. All right, so don't rush it. Now, we're going to pause with that knee pointing down, the heel up. Now push into your hands, get a little more strength. Now, bring your right knee down, tap, and push the heel up. Tap, and push it up. Tap, push it up. Keep your breath moving. Tapping, push it up. Tap, push it up. I'm already feeling my left side glutes, especially from all the work we did last time. Whew. Enjoy that burn. Now from here, you're going to push that leg straight, cross it over to the left, land the toe on the floor. Push down and realign your hands. Now you're going to aim that right foot, bring it up and to the right, down to the left, up and to the right. Now try not to let your body swing too much. Try your best to use your booty to control that movement, that kind of abduction to the right. So it's this diagonal movement, and you're pushing through the edge of your right foot. Open up that hip a little bit more as you're reaching up to the top right corner of your ceiling. Oh boy. Am I going to regret that I put this in? No. The burn feels good. And it hurts a bit. All right, let's do one more. And set the knees down. Give yourself a little booty rest. Child's pose. Sink your arms down. Head down to the floor.
Deep breath in. Nice cleansing breath out. Maybe out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just come back to your regular breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Let's make our way back up to tabletop position. From here, we'll come into thunderbolt. So bring your knees together and untuck your toes. Come have a seat with your hips down onto your heels. Now, from here, let's take the hands behind, open up the shoulders by forming a fist behind you. Press the fist down and open up the chest. Look forward. Try not to spin your head up. You're just going to open up through the front of your delts, your chest, breathing and exhaling. All right, from here, create some circles with your wrists. We are going to be using our wrists and our shoulders quite a lot today for our side planks, so make sure that you have those hands all limbered up. If you need to take a few more minutes to warm them up, feel free to. These are a few exercises you can do to get them limbered. So rolling around the wrists, you can point your fingers up like you're saying stop, like don't come too close for social distancing purposes, and then flip your fingertips down, flip them up, flip them down, up and down, and then give them a shake. All right, so we're going to start in our first sun salutation in downward facing dog. So go ahead and plant your hands, move your feet back accordingly, and tuck the toes under. Let's lift those hips up. Now with these sun salutations, get ready for that extra change. We're going to add side plank to each one. Yippee. So there's a few modifications that you can do for side plank. In this section, I will show you the variations that you can take, and you choose what's best for you. All right, so from here, we're going to start bending those knees, walking forward, and we'll start right back up after forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend those knees, come to Tadasana, mountain pose. Hands to heart. Feet are feeling firm underneath. Inhale to rise, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back into your plank or modified plank. Now here's where we'll add that side plank. We're going to start with the right side, then left side. So think about your right hand. You're going to put your weight into that hand. Turn your body and your feet to the left. Your left hand's on the floor. Now you can go straight into side plank from here, or if this is too much for you, place your top leg out in front as sort of a kickstand, and then push into your feet, side of your foot, and lift your hips up. All right, your other option, instead of full side plank or the one in front, is to bring it behind you. Push into your 3 points, your hand, foot, and other foot, to lift those hips up, okay? So that's your first side plank. Come back into regular plank. Place your left hand down slow, spin your body forward. Now left side is going to take the weight. Spin to the right. Feet can be stacked, and one in front of the other, or staggered, sorry, or one on top. Into side plank. First variation, right foot in front. Or second variation, right foot behind. Push the hips up. All right. So once you've gotten a sense of all the 3 variations that you can use, we're going to lower down, and we're going to try that again. Come into a full cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, keeping those elbows close into the ribs. Inhale, and exhale. Bend those knees, walk it forward, stay low. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend those knees, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, we'll start again, high mountain. Exhale, dive down, nice and low. Inhale, halfway lift, you get long. Exhale, walk or hop to your plank. Before we go anywhere, right hand takes the weight, side plank to the left, your choice, whichever variation. Exhale, come to regular plank, spin it gently forward. Inhale, plank to the right side, side plank I should say. Exhale, come back to plank, facing forward. Lower down, your choice. Belly or chaturanga, come all the way up. Downward facing dog is next. And we'll meet there. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Bend those knees, walk or hop softly to your hands. Take a forward bow. Inhale for your halfway lift, get nice and long. Exhale, bend those knees, power down to lift up. As you exhale, hands come to the heart. One more time through inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, get long. Exhale, walk or hop gently to your plank. Now from here, side plank to the left. Spin it over, lift up high, bump those hips. Exhale, gently turn to your plank. Inhale, turn to the right, side plank. Exhale, come back to regular plank. Lower down, your choice. Belly or coming to chaturanga, your choice. Come up for your cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, come all the way back. Downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs. Hopefully you're pretty warmed up by now. Feel free to take a few more rounds of sun salutations if you'd like, with or without the extra side planks. With video, you can always do lots of different things at home if you feel inspired, so feel free to pause the video at any time. Now let's come back here and press those heels down. We're going to lift the right foot up. Three-legged dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's take the right knee, cross it over to the left elbow into a cross knee tuck. Bring it up. Exhale, cross knee tuck to the right again, or sorry, to the left. One more time. Cross knee tuck across to the left. Inhale, this time, bring that right foot up, plant it forward between the hands for low lunge. Staying here, drop your back knee into low knee lunge. Inhale, lift those hands up, sink deeper as you reach back. Now, as we dive the hands down, we're coming to standing splits. So as you bring those hands down, pop your back leg up and bring it all the way up towards the sky if you can. Walk your hands closer towards your right leg and drop your upper body towards the right thigh. Standing splits, yippee. Now slowly drop your left knee, staying low. Take your hands, walk them to the left side of your mat, and continue going to the very back, spinning your toes into a V until you can come to the very back near your left leg. Sink down, lift up your right toe, see if you can come into Skandasana. Now, for some people, this is really tough. You can come over by keeping yourself high and then walking your elbows up onto your thigh. You can do that as well. So if you're low down, you can walk yourself over to the right, or you can just come into side lunge Skandasana to the right, elbows on the thigh, your choice. Now from here, the hands are going to come to frame the right leg as we turn to face the front. Low lunge again. Okay, so we got to spin forward again. Now, that is our first variation. So we're going to come to side plank from here, so listen carefully. Your left hand is going to be your connection hand. Your right foot's going to slip back as you turn to the right side. Right? So right foot goes back, turn to the right, and then peel your right hand up. Again, that right foot can be in front or behind you, or stacked on top or staggered next to in front of each other. Lots of options. Take the right hand down, come straight down to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We got to start that whole thing over again. Lucky you. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Press the heels down. Look back at your toes. When you're ready, let's lift that left foot up high. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. Cross knee tuck. Inhale. 2 more times, lift it up. Exhale, knee tuck to the right. Inhale, lifted eye. Last time, knee tuck to the right. Bring it up high. Plant that left foot between the hands. Stay low. Drop the right knee. Inhale, lift those arms up, sink forward as you reach back. Maybe you can look up. Exhale, plant those hands, pop up in two, standing split. So get ready to lift that right knee up and then come forward and lift the right leg to the sky. Walk your hands closer so your body drops towards the left thigh. Hang out here for a couple of breaths. If this doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. Sometimes this is just as good as a cup of coffee, I find. Drop that right foot down, stay low. We're going to walk the hands to the right for Skandasana. Okay, so go all the way to the back of your mat, spinning your feet while you go to the back into kind of a V shape. And then sink your hips up, down, low into Skandasana or elbow to thigh. Now, if you're low, this is how it's going to look. You can either use your hands to crawl over to the front of your mat, or you can use the power of your legs to shift over to the left side. You can make it easy, you can make it harder, your choice. Now all of us are going to take those hands that are free, walk them to the front as we spin and frame the foot with our hands, low lunge. Now, side plank. Lots of tricky transitions today just to keep your mind going and busy. Let's take the right hand as our base hand. Left foot shifts to the back as we turn to the left and peel it open again. Top foot can be in the front or behind for some modifications, and then slowly bring it back. Plank strong, exhale lower, still feeling that strength in those hands, okay? Inhale, lifting up, exhale, bring it back. All right, bend those knees, walk or gently hop to your hands, stay low for your full, and grab opposite elbows for waterfall. Let your head drop, let your entire upper body just cascade forward. As you inhale, expand through your back. As you exhale, just become softer and more pliant, maybe yielding to some of that control we want that we're maybe all desperate for right now. See if you can just let it go. In through the nose. Exhale, slow through the nose. Release the hands, come to your halfway lift. Inhaling fully, exhale, bend those knees, and press down to lift up strong. Hands come down to the heart. Take a few breaths here, grab a drink of water if you need to. We're going to add on to that sequence. When you come back, please do make sure you have a block with you. We are going to play around with a pose called half moon. And I would definitely recommend having one of these if you don't, to try it, or you can just watch and see what the pose is all about. If you're needing a block, we're going to place it on the top right side of the mat. When you're ready, come meet me at the top of your mat, feet about hip distance apart. Inhale to lift, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, get long. Exhale, walk or hop back to your plank. Lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to do that same beginning sequence with the cross tucks. Right leg lifts high. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Make sure you're turning a little bit towards the left. Inhale, come up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow again. Inhale, come up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Really float that leg. Right foot comes up. And plant the foot, lower your back knee down. Inhale to come up. Sink those hips down a little more. This time, bend your elbows out, your hands facing forward, and come into cactus, opening up your chest just a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe out. This time, lift those hands up, straighten up your spine, and dive down, coming into your standing splits. So fingertips touch, propel the left foot up to the sky, and the head towards the right thigh. From here, we're just going to lower down into low lunge. Here's the change. Think about your back foot. You're going to spin the toe out with your heel on the floor, about 45 degrees. Take your left hand, spiral your way up into warrior two. So warrior two, if you look at my legs, right knee is bent in a lunge. Left leg is straight and pushing to the side edge of my left foot. And then my knees are tracking out to my pinky toes, not towards the big toes, but out and slightly back and squeezing the glutes. Core is drawn in, the arms are about parallel to the ground, and then look to your right fingertips, kind of like you're on a surfer on a surfboard. Now, nice and strong here, take a deep breath out. Now we're coming to Sky Archer for nice back bend, side bend. So let's take the left arm forward. You're going to catch the front wrist with your left hand. You're going to bring both hands up as you straighten the front leg. Keep bringing it back. So you notice that my front right toes are lifted as well. Now if you can, try to really push back into your left edge of foot just to keep yourself from crunching in your back. So you're really pushing and you're allowing the upper body to fall to the back of the room. Maybe turn your gaze up. Great stretch, and it's a bit of a strengthener as well. And slowly come back, warrior two. Now side angle, your right elbow can come down onto your thigh, left arm up, kind of a nice diagonal, fingertips in the same angle as your back foot. Now let's take that left hand onto the hip, making our way into half moon. So you can look down, find your block, or you can put your fingertips on the floor. Slide your left foot in, land your hands on your prop, and then slowly push down, lift the back leg up, and then spin your hip up and back. Push through the outer edge of your foot, draw your core in. Once you're ready, you can think about maybe lifting that hand up so that the top arm is in line with the bottom arm. Push down into your right foot. So we're all trying to remember a lot of things right now. Try to get yourself connected with your body. And then lastly, try to refocus on your breath. You got this. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. We're holding it here. Just for fun, right? How many times a day do you get to do this? So far, just one, I think, right? So take your time, enjoy it. And then slowly bend your right knee, land softly, like a ninja, unfurl back into your warrior pose. Oh boy. Now from here, we're going to come down and make our way to side plank. So don't forget about that. So spiral your left hand down, turn into your low lunge. Now it's your left hand that takes the weight. Turn to the right, slip your front foot back, and keep turning into your side plank. Choose a variation that works for you, that sustains this practice. And then right hand comes down, come to your plank. Don't worry, we'll do the other side the next time we come through. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press it back. Oh boy, that feels good, doesn't it? All right, let's start with the left leg high. Three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, right knee, right elbow for that tuck. Try to lift that leg up. Inhale, bring it high. Exhale, cross knee tuck. Lift up high. Last time, tuck to the right. Three-legged dog. This time, make your way into that knee lunge. Left foot forward, right knee down. Now while we're here, let's take that block if we needed it for half moon over to the left side just in case. Inhale, lift the arms up. Sink forward and down. This time, release the hands down behind your back. Interlace the fingers and press down as you open through the chest, leaning slightly back. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Continue with your breath. This time, inhale, exhale, release. This time the arms go all the way back up, dive down, tuck your back foot in, and come to your standing splits. Right leg lifts. Walk your hands closer towards your left foot and draw your head closer to that left knee. Lower down and stay in your low lunge. We're going to come to warrior two. So land your right heel, spin your back toes flat, 45 degrees. Left knee stays bent as we spiral the right arm up and back, coming into warrior. So again, Find that bend, strong lunge in the left knee. Find strength pushing back towards the edge of your right foot, and then bring your knees to the pinky size of your toes. Arms front and back, core is drawn in. You feel your glutes firing up. You're really strong and ready. All right, let's take that sky archer. So we're going to bring the right hand forward, catch the left wrist, the front arm, bring it back and up, and then straighten all of your legs. Lift your left toe as you bend back. Turn your gaze up to the ceiling. Push into your right foot a little bit. Try to get a little bit of activation through that right leg and not let it just push out into the hip. Nice and strong. Slowly let it go. Warrior two, sink it down. Now let's come to side angle. Left elbow comes to the thigh. Right arm comes overhead in a nice diagonal. So really push back into that right edge of foot, getting that nice long openness through your right side, getting ready for your half moon. Let's take the right hand down. And again, you can watch or stay here in half moon or just continue on with trying this pose out. So look down at your block or the floor where your hand will land. Shimmy your right foot in. Find some connection and then pop that right foot up. Flex that right toe. And then open your right hip up and back. Same with your shoulder. Right shoulder, right hip is still doing the same thing while it's spinning towards the right side wall and pushing that left foot straight down. Good. Now once you're ready, think about aligning your right hand on top of your left arm. Getting nice and strong here. Focus is ready. Staring at a spot really does help. And then slowly, ever so slowly, drop it back, warrior two. Oh boy, now get ready for side plank. This time, leading with the right hand, the hand that's landing on the floor, immediately start to turn to the left. Slip your left foot back, open it up. Take a deep breath in, side plank, again facing left side. And then slowly turn it back into your plank, lower down. Inhale for your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push it back. Walk your feet in just a little bit. See if you've got more openness in the back of your legs just to get your heels closer to the ground. Breathe deep. Let it go. Now for this next one, we're going to come to Malasana at the front of the mat. Now you can jump or you can walk. I will show you the walking version, so look forward at your thumbs and then walk your left foot to the outside of one hand and your right foot to the outside of the other hand. Once you're ready, you're going to sink your hips down, bring your elbows to your inner knees, and lift the crown of your head up. So from the side it looks like this, from the front it looks like this, a really low squat, elbows pushing those knees away. Okay, so this is your first option. Another option in case this is hard for you to maintain is to use a block. You can sit on it too, like a little stool, and just practice getting those hips open. Okay, so there's lots of different options that you can use, or you just maybe lean forward a little bit and hold on with your hands. You can even put your fingertips on the floor as well. Now, you could stay here in any of those options. Your second option is to create a little bit of strength and cardio. So if you're ready for this little ride, please do join me. We're going to set our hands on the floor, fingertips. Now you're going to lift those hips up and look down right between your heels and then come back. Yay. So it's like you're peekabooing past your shins. You don't need to straighten your legs completely. They can have a bit of a bend, but you're probably feeling those hamstrings, maybe the quads. Now if you want to make this harder, you're going to take your hands off and place them in prayer position and do this without hands on the floor, and it is a lot harder. Oh boy. I'm gonna put my hands down because it feels so much better. A couple more like this. Oh, my legs are burning. Last one. Okay, we can do this. Come back to Malasana. Oh boy. Good job, everyone. I'm spent. Now we're going to have a seat, so you can go ahead and put your hands behind you. You can put your bum down and bring your feet out in front. We're going to take some poses here in boat pose and reverse tabletop. Just trying to think of the name of that pose.
So let's start with reverse tabletop. It's not one we do a whole lot, but it's good to do for strengthening the arms, legs, core. So sit with your feet on the ground comfortably and feel the hands underneath your shoulders. So they should feel like they can straighten down, push the mat away. Spread your fingers nice and wide so you have a nice wide base. Now, when you're ready, feet are about hip distance apart, push into your feet and hands, lift up the front of your body, so your quads and your upper body, torso. If you need to reposition your feet, you can. Keep lifting through your glutes, stretching up through the front of your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Super fun, right? Slowly release. We're going to add a little bit of movement to this. So we're going to, let's see, I think we are best with our hands turned away from us this time, I think. No, keep your fingers facing forward. I lied. So fingers we're staying where they are. I had to think about that because I hadn't done this in a little while. So with your feet where they were, you're going to lift up into sort of a reverse tabletop. But once you're here, we're going to see if we can touch the left hand to the right heel. Yes. So you're going to pick up that right leg and tap, put her down. So you notice that my hips are pretty low for this one. Okay. So I'm going to lift up, touch my opposite foot to hand, and again to the right, to the left. So cross over. See if you can very slowly transition from one side to the other. Hips can be low. It's very hard to do this in actual reverse tabletop. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Last one, nice and slow, don't rush it, and lower those hips down. Oh boy. Let's bring those feet together. We got just a little bit more before we cool down. So zip up those legs, come up nice and tall, draw your core back towards your spine. Let's bring the hands out, slide the shoulders back into the sockets, and slowly hinge back until you feel a little bit of that activation, a little bit of shakiness in your core area. Now again, you can pick up one foot or you can pick up both. You can glue them together if that makes you feel happier. Deep breath in, deep breath out, holding it just for a little bit longer. If you want to make it harder, you can hold onto the back of your thighs and push those legs straight. A little bit harder means letting go of those legs. Slowly let it go. Come into butterfly. So feet together, knees apart. Sit up tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Find a little bit of stretch in those inner thighs and the low back. Feel free now to round, dropping the head and shoulders. Breathe deep into your kidneys, your low back, and your spinal muscles. All right. Let's come back down onto the back for some more core work, and then we'll stretch it out. So come on down, keep your feet on the floor, knees bent. Now let's cross the left leg over the right and open it up into pigeon pose. I'm not going to stay here for the stretch though. So what we're going to do is bring the hands by the temples. Bring your elbows out wide. Now draw your core down to the floor to protect your low back and to activate your belly muscles. Now you're going to lift your legs off the floor, so just the right leg, and feel already how your core responds to your pelvis and your legs lifting off the ground, okay? So keep trying to draw that core down, low back, glued to your mat. Now, stop with your right knee on top of your hip, okay? So that just means a bit of a 90-degree angle. Flex your feet, draw your core in. Now you're going to reach over with your right shoulder and take a little bit of a crunch. Bring that knee a little closer towards you, and then slowly release. Exhale, crunch. Bring legs and shoulder together. Release and crunch. Notice I'm not actually setting my right foot down. I'm just either tapping it or hovering. Bring it up, crunch, lower,
crunch and lower. Whew, crunch and lower. Good. Just continue like this. Exhale as you crunch. Inhale when you release. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. And bring it down. Whew. Uncross the legs. Let's take the right ankle over the left thigh. Open it up for pigeon. Flex your feet. Draw your core in. Now test the strength of your low back and core muscles by lifting your legs off the ground and then bring your left knee on top of that hip. Let's take the hands to the sides, elbows out, and then bring the shoulder over towards the right knee. Crunch it a little more, and then slowly release, maybe hover, and bring it in. Open, bring it in. Inhale to open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. So just continue like this. Try not to speed things up too much. If you go a little slower, you might notice that it's really hard to do that. Make it challenging. Okay, so if you want more of a workout, do go a little slower. Let's do one more. And release. Oh boy. All right, take a moment here. Maybe swivel those knees from side to side. A little bit of a windshield wiper. Release your back. Catch your breath. Good work, you guys. So we're going to continue on with some more core before we stretch it out. So this time I want you to think about bringing your knees over your hips again. And again, be very mindful of what's happening with your core and your low back. When you bring your legs off the ground, it's a lot of weight. So a lot of times when people do this, their low backs start to lift off the ground, like you can see space. I'm actually trying to stick my hand underneath my low back to show you, you don't want to see this space. You want your back to be flush down with the floor, especially your low back, okay? So when you do that little test, bring your knees up and just make sure that you're still squeezing your low back to the floor via your core muscles. Okay, so if this is too much for you, you can always bring your legs up a little closer towards you and not lower your legs down quite as far. So you can always do this. You can stop the video and just sort of test, like, okay, maybe when you come down here, you feel your back lift up. So maybe you're just going to come down as far as this. You'll reduce the angle, right? Hope that makes sense. All right, so what we're going to do is the first variation of our jackknife. So the arms are going to start behind. Draw your core in, seal your low back to the mat, okay? If this is too hard for you already, draw your knees closer to your body and see if it's easier to seal that back. All right, so we're going to start by reaching the hands forward, lift the head up off the ground, and as you return, you're going to kick those legs out a little higher or lower, and you're going to keep your head a little off the ground. Exhale, reach up a little more. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Oh. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. And just continuing like this. If it bothers your neck, keep your head on the ground and maybe only lift up when you bring your knees in towards you and then set it back down. Okay. Last one. Hold it. Oh boy. Release. Bring the feet down. Draw your elbows by your sides. Breathe in and fill up. We have one more to go. You're in luck today with all the side plank and core work. We're going to roll on to the left side. Okay, so come on up and tip your knees down to the left. So you're sitting on your left hip. Now we're going to come down onto the left side, and I think we'll come down all the way so that your hand and your elbow, well, your hand's on your head and your elbow's on the floor. Now straighten your legs out behind you and bring them slightly forward, kind of like a very wide V. Now you're going to take your right hand up above your head. You're going to cinch up your core really strong, and you're going to see if you can, actually, you know what? let's take the left hand down. All right, so we're going to come down onto the elbow, and then we're going to keep the right hand down right by the side, and then we're going to think about lifting the legs up, lifting the right hand up, and seeing if we can reach for the feet. Now set them down, reach up, open it up. So bring those legs up high. Try not to rock too much, using momentum. Talk about side waist muscles, obliques. Oh boy. Usually in class I get to instruct, sometimes I get up and I don't have to do all of the exercises, but for video I'm going to have to do that, so you're going to watch me sweat. Hopefully you're doing the same at home. Let's do one more. Put her down, right hand to the floor. We're going to switch it over to the right side, so whichever format works best for you. I'm just going to do this way so you can see me. Come down onto your right elbow. Bring your legs out slightly in front of you. Cinch up your core and get a little bit off the ground. Okay, from here the left hand can come up. When you're ready, lift those legs up. See if you can tap them and lower. See if you can keep your upper body fairly still. Try not to let yourself rock forward and back too much. I know it's hard. Good. Keep it strong. Keep your breath going. I know, we've been in quarantine for so long. But I hope you find some joy in getting a break from your everyday when you come to yoga with me. Oh, let's do one more. Set it down. Relax. Oh boy. All right, we're going to make our way back upright and do some stretches. So let's take a wide angle, legs out, bring the right foot in to the inner thigh. You can position yourself any way you like so that you feel cushioned wherever feels best. Now you're facing forward. I want you to think about turning your chest towards your right knee. So prop your hands to either side of that leg and turn. Take your left hand, block it to the inside of your left leg. So you want to keep your chest facing somewhere about the same direction of your right knee as you take a side bend over to your left foot. So think about that spiraling as you push your elbow in towards that leg. Feel that traction, allowing yourself to turn the chest and open up. Settle through your right hip. Try not to let it tense up and lift the knee off the ground. Don't feel like you have to reach and touch the foot in any capacity. Now, if you find that doing this with a strap is more feasible, you can go ahead and loop your foot with a strap and hold on to it with your left hand. That might give you a little bit more anchoring, a little bit more traction, and a little bit more length. This is really nice for those side waist muscles, the obliques that we've just been working, giving lots of TLC to with our side planks. Good. Let's come into a twist. So take the left hand on top of the bent right knee and then keep turning gently towards the right. Slowly return. Let's switch right leg out to the side, left foot in. I'm going to come into this revolved big toe. So turning towards the left, so you again want to face the left knee as much as you can, block the right inner thigh with that right hand, and then take it up and over. Looking up, opening through that left side, breathing. Even if it feels really tight at first and you feel like, oh, I'm really high up in this pose, don't worry. Let yourself just soften. Sometimes it takes a little bit of mind connection with the body to realize that maybe you are holding a little bit more tension than you realize. And then sometimes we just lack the flexibility in our body to go as far down as we wish. So don't sweat it. Don't worry. Think about how good it feels more than what it looks. Slowly return upright. Take your right hand to the top of your kneecap. Turn to the left. Just a little twist. Find your breath. Open up and feel really nice.
Slowly come forward, bring your legs back into a wide angle. We're going to take a fold. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, hinge forward. Place the hands down either on the floor or a block. So if your hands feel kind of short and you're craning, use a block to prop your hands up and find nice alignment. Bring those toes up to the sky and then let yourself settle forward. Feel that nice stretch in those inner thighs, the hamstrings, and your low back. Let's breathe in. Exhale, just soften it forward. And then slowly feel free to drop your head and round your spine, making it a lot more relaxed. Notice if you're holding on to any grip in those inner thighs. If you're kind of apprehensive about a position, sometimes the body will just carry habitual patterns. And just see if you can notice what it is you do when you deepen or change a position. And take a note, let your body relax, and then let it go. This is also a really good position to hang out over your laptop if you're working, if you have a laptop and not a desktop computer. But changing positions throughout the day rather than sitting in a chair for most of your workday is really, really good for you. So I do recommend trying to sit on the floor in different positions as much as you can if you've got the ability to do so, even if it's from reading or eating a meal or working at your computer. Let's come all the way back up. Whew. Wiggle out those legs, and we're going to make our way down to Shavasana. So feel free to pause the video at any time and take an extra long Shavasana, or you can just follow along with me. Find a comfortable position on your back. Let your arms spread out to the sides, your toes relax outward, relax your face and jaw. Begin to breathe long and deep, slowing it down. Remembering to be just as slow, long, and deep on the way back out. From here, I'll leave you to enjoy your own Shavasana. You can take your time to get up whenever you wish. Before I sign off, though, I hope that you can carry this quiet tranquility with you for the rest of your day or evening. Namaste.